there is a team where I think he could fit with a manager who he adores, who he's worked with before.
Who you adore as well.
I also have a simpatico for. A team that's very successful, that plays in the Champions League, a team he knows well, where he spent a long time. Would it be a perfect fit? No. But I don't think there is a perfect fit at this stage of his career. But I'm talking about Real Madrid, of course. And you could imagine, despite what's happened before and last summer saying the chapter was closed, you could perhaps imagine a situation with Benzema a year older, the World Cup coming up, maybe some situation where he maybe plays some games leading up to the World Cup. Obviously, Real Madrid didn't get Mbappe. I think financially, for 1 year or 2 years, I don't think it really would be an issue for Real Madrid to meet.
So Ronaldo to Real Madrid, that seems pretty decent. Given we need a striker for backup for Benzema, we should sign someone who is really good in scoring goals. The biggest question is Ronaldo going to take a role that he's not the main focus for the team? Now, if you think a little bit, you might say, oh, okay, Benzema is getting injured a lot and we need a good backup. Given we also have a World Cup in the middle, so we need players who would have opportunity to play as a rotation player. But in reality, that's almost impossible, because if you know Ronaldo, he won't take that role. He would like to be the main focus of the team.
Wage demands. I think he would be okay with perhaps sharing time as the World Cup approaches. Post-World Cup, who knows? If France go all the way, Benzema might come back tired. Maybe there's a situation there. Benzema, I think, is the kind of center forward who's a 9 and a 10 at the same time, who's so smart in the way he moves. He could do a lot of the hard work for Cristiano, could set Cristiano up. Maybe that, to me, when I go around Europe and I apply the process of elimination, that's really the only place that would make sense, unless he decides to say, oh, let me make an emotional decision, let me go back to Sporting Lisbon, which he incidentally already appears to have ruled out, or does something like that. Otherwise, I don't see too many other potential options, and even then, it's all down to Florentino there.
Yeah, Real Madrid could be a good option for Ronaldo, and for Real Madrid, it also could be a good option given he will score a lot of goals. And it could be a really short-term solution, but we have to think about the long-term solution for our club. And in my opinion, as long as Florentino Perez is the president, he will not sign back Ronaldo.
I have to say, hold on a second. Once, when it comes to Karim Benzema and him once again opening the space for Cristiano and said, I'll do all the work for you, Cristiano. No. Karim Benzema has walked away from that. He's moved on to an entirely different level in his career and in the profile of a player that he has become. He did the work for Ronaldo for a very long time. He's not going back in time to say, I'm going to do the work for you, Cristiano, so you go score the goals. No. And if Karim, if you're thinking about it, no.
I agree with the main gist of what Allah is trying to imply, but at the same time, I don't see anything wrong with Benzema playing with Ronaldo. And they did play together at the past. And Benzema is one of the most unselfish player you can play with. And right now, just because Benzema is the better player, it doesn't mean he will be totally selfish that he won't play with Ronaldo. But what I totally agree with LA is that Benzema is not going to take that secondary role that he used to play to serve Ronaldo. That's not going to happen, because right now he's the best player in the world, in my opinion. Another issue is that playing both of them at the same time is not ideal. You can say one of them can play as a false 9 and or vice versa, but in reality that'd be very difficult, especially given the system we have.
The only thing I'd say is that if Vinicius Jr. and Benzema got a great understanding with Vinicius Jr. playing on the left-hand side, would you want to swap that? Would you want to then have 3 players that don't come back and defend? Because Vinicius Jr. doesn't come back and defend. He stays up the field so they can counter-attack.
Okay, Robo, please tell me you have watched Real Madrid all season, not just 1 or 2 matches. Because if you say Vinicius Jr. doesn't defend, that is blatantly wrong. In my opinion, if you see all the best wingers in the world right now, Vinicius is the number 1 in terms of defending. The amount of defensive work he does is understated. But there's only a few matches where Ancelotti wants him to stay farther forward for chance creation or for counter-attack. But those matches are a few. That's not the commonality. And you cannot base your argument based on those matches. You have to see the whole season, how he does play. He's very active when it comes to defending. Again, what I do agree is that playing those 3 together is not the best.
Benzema will come back to get the ball, but he doesn't come back and actually defend. He'll try and nick balls off midfield players. And then you've got Ronaldo that won't want to come back. I don't think that fits Real Madrid. If Benzema's not playing, that's okay, but Benzema has to be the key player week in, week out.
Okay, so we're ruling out...
Definitely, Benzema is the main player of Real Madrid right now. We have seen when Benzema doesn't play, the chance creations, shooting on target, everything goes down. When Benzema plays, it's totally different story.
Ronaldo to Real Madrid here, Gav. What about Chelsea?
I think there has to be some give and take, and the give and take can be from Cristiano possibly saying, look, there's a World Cup coming up. I want to bide my time a little bit. You can't demand...
Hang on, Gab. Ronaldo, give or take. When has Ronaldo ever given some and taken something? He'll do what he wants to do. He's done it at Juventus. He's done it at Manchester United. He's not going to suddenly say, I fit into a system here. He does what he wants to.
Now, what I do agree with Robo here is, yes, Ronaldo is that player that he wants to be the main guy. Simple as that. When he did play with Manu, I have watched multiple games. When Manu players did not pass to him, he would be angry. He would be making a lot of reactions, which is not ideal because you have to encourage youngster. But when it comes to Ronaldo, he would expect that everyone serving for him. Now, which is not going to be the case for Ronaldo if he comes to Real Madrid.
I think both Ronaldo and Benzema want to win. Benzema has shown how unselfish he is. Listen, you can come up with a better solution. I know. Okay, you just asked me about Chelsea. Never say never, because we have now an acting sporting director at Chelsea who I don't think has ever fulfilled that role before, and he's kind of learning on the job. And he also happens to be the owner, right? Todd Bowley, or one of the owners. I would find this very, very difficult. I don't see how, we talked about managers who are all about the system, and it's just, Cristiano Ronaldo just simply doesn't fit that at this stage. Could you plunk him up front, and would he score 25 goals? Yeah. Would he necessarily make Chelsea better to the degree that they would justify the expense? I'm not so sure. I think Chelsea are going in another direction. Now, in the end, of course, Bowley's the boss. He says, my money or my ownership group's money. Sure, let's make this happen. But
honestly, out of all the teams possible for Ronaldo to go, I feel like Chelsea would be the best suitable for him, because Chelsea needs a striker who will score a lot of goals. Ronaldo will score a lot of goals. But he fulfills their missing point. In my opinion, that could be win-win for both Ronaldo and Chelsea. I don't know why Chelsea doesn't want him. I think they should go for him. In other world, there's also a possibility that Tuchel, the Chelsea coach, doesn't know how to handle big ego in the dressing room. Like, he struggled at PSG with all the big players. He struggled to manage Lukaku. Now he's struggling against Timo Werner. But if Tuchel can manage better, Ronaldo would be ideal for Chelsea. And regarding coming back to Real Madrid, I think we should move on. He built a legacy at Real Madrid. He's a legend, and I don't think we should diminish that legendary role that he has.